Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today I am attempting to do the Baby Yoda makeup look. I did find a couple of tutorials on it. I really followed Crispy's Yoda tutorial, not Baby Yoda. It was a little different, but I wanted to get like the wrinkles and stuff right. So I did kind of take a peek at her tutorial and whatnot. So right now I am attempting to put on this is a wig cap, not a bald cap. They are two totally different things, I know that, but I don't have any bald caps. Bald caps are really expensive, so I don't have any. I know Mayron sells some, Bendai has some, yeah, so I don't have any, but I was attempting to use this because, you know, it's fine. And the cream paint did seep through onto my hair, and it was really difficult to get out, so just keep that in mind. So I did put that on. I used spirit gum to adhere it, and I'm just cutting around very carefully my eyebrows and my hair and trying to get this down. This was such a pain. I've never done this before. A lot of things in here I've never done before, so just bear with me in this tutorial, please. I just wanted to kind of show you the transformation and how I did it, and it was pretty difficult. Honestly, I wanted to give up a lot of the time, but I kept going, and it turned out not too bad. I think there's like some things afterwards that I was like, oh, well, I could have did this, I could have did this, but you know, it is what it is. So be kind, please, in the comments and just tell me what you think. After I got it glued down finally, I was putting liquid latex around the edge of it to try and seal it. This didn't work too well. You could definitely still see it. Like I said, this is a wig cap, not a bald cap. It is a totally different material. This guy is kind of meshy, whereas the bald caps are kind of like this weird plastic film that sticks really close to your head, and it's like a really flat surface. So anyway, it didn't work. So honestly, if you have just a wig cap, you could totally skip this step. So now I'm just taking my flash palette and I'm mixing the yellow, the green, and the white, and then I ended up going and mixing a little bit of blue. But as you can see, I'm all over the place in this tutorial because now I'm trying to figure out how to do the ear situation. And I had these elf ears, which I ended up having to cut down, and I bobby pinned the crap out of them to my head. You can kind of see them here. There was no other way for me to do it. It was really difficult. So I did do that off camera. I was getting really frustrated, and I was like, you know, I'm kind of giving up on this. But I kept going, so, you know. So I'm taking that mixture of the paints, and I'm just wiping it all over my face with the old sponge. I didn't want to use any of my good sponges, I guess you could say, because I don't want to ruin them. This is the oil base, like the cream paints, so they never dry down, and they're really thick, so they're really hard to get out of brushes and stuff, so just keep that in mind. So I realized afterwards that I did have to black out the bottom half of my face, so anything from your lower lip down you're gonna black out because Yoda has a very tiny round little face. So in order to get the illusion of having a Yoda face and that weird circle face, that you do have to black this out, and this is the part where the whatever you're wearing is gonna cover that part up, so you won't be able to see it. Honestly, I kind of started to look like Shrek, or like Shrek's children, and I don't know how to feel about that. So like I said, this cream paint does not dry down at all, so I powdered the crap out of it with the Coty Airspun powder, and I used so much of it, it looks like it's snowing in my room. And the smell is so strong that I was literally gagging and choking on powder. But you know, so I did set all over the place. So now I'm starting to use my flash palette again, and I'm using the brown shade, and I'm just tracing the outline for the eyes and for the wrinkles, and then I can start shading afterwards. So for a Baby Yoda tutorial, it's going to be a lot different than the regular Yoda tutorial, the one that I said I was following from Crispy. So I did end up looking up her tutorial, and I just wanted to see how she did her wrinkles and stuff. Like right now I'm watching her tutorial because I kind of wanted to get like the nose right and take some advice that she had on like the nose and everything, and like drawing their forehead wrinkles. I did have a quite a few different Yoda, like baby Yoda reference photos as well, and I tried to match as many as I could. And as you can see, you could definitely still see the wig cap. It's really irritating. I'm so sorry. But, you know, maybe one day I will have a bald cap and invest in one. But for now I do not, so this would have to suffice for now. So I'm taking the OG Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm taking the darkest brown shade that is next to the black, I think. And I am darkening my entire eye because Baby Yoda has giant, beautiful brown eyes. And then I also take the black shade in that and try and do a pupil on my eyelid that's going to be really, really big. But it works. And I end up going back and working on the eyes afterwards. And I will say that in the photo that I uploaded on Instagram, I did edit the eyes a little bit, just to be totally honest, because I did not like how they turned out with the paint and shadows and everything. So I did add some different highlights and whatnot in my photos that I posted. So here I am starting to do the very, very fine detail work around the eyes, doing the wrinkles around the eyes and on the nose and etc. And as you can see, I don't know why my camera didn't record this, or maybe I just lost the footage or something, but his mouth is actually the line that goes across the bottom part of the nose. And I will say that in Crispy's video, she did say that she made the black line a lot thicker, and I wish that I did that because you can get the illusion of a Yoda face when you like not focus your eyes, if that makes sense. You know how like you can see some things in certain angles and photos, and if you adjust your eyes weird. So anyway, it works, but I did wish I made it a lot thicker of the black line, and I hid my nostrils a lot better because it did kind of ruin the illusion. But I mean, you can see it, especially if you see my photos on Instagram, okay? But it, you know, it is what it is. So I am taking the Smoke Show palette, sorry, by ColourPop, which is just the black and gray monochromatic palette that they have, and I'm using the darker gray shade, I believe, and I'm just starting my shading in every single one of the creases that I have. After I finish all of my shading, I'm taking the Wet n Wild Color Icon blush in Apricot in the middle because Baby Yoda has pretty rosy cheeks. When I was showing my boyfriend this, he was like, "You should add more green to your cheeks." And I was like, no, Baby Yoda has like rosy cheeks. If you look at photos, he has rosy cheeks. So that is why I'm doing that. And then I am also adding it where it looks like eyebrows, but it's not his eyebrows, it's just wrinkles there that I drew. But as you can see, I'm adding it there too, because it kind of has like a purpley pink tint in any of the photos really that are of him.
We have our hands tied, they treat us like we're fools.
Next to contouring and adding shadows, highlights are your best friends. They really add the extra oomph that you need to a lot of different looks, especially when you're doing like a cosplay look or any type of SFX look. You really want to add highlight and contrast because that's really going to help bring out everything you need. So I really like that when I added the white under the eyes and I started adding them into all the forehead wrinkles here that you see that I'm doing. It really looks cool. And as you can see, as I'm like looking down, like the face of Yoda looks so crazy. It's so funny. I did end up getting rid of that weird line that I tried to do as like his chin. That would be right as it looks like a smiley face. It's like right under my nose. I did get rid of that because I don't know, it was like throwing me off, but I was trying to draw his chin and like the shadows, but I don't think I ended up shadowing it or adding highlights to it or anything, so it just looked off. But anyway, I did end up getting rid of that. While you are highlighting, it is best to go back and forth between the dark shades. As you can see, I'm adding way more depth and darkness to the lines going up on my forehead. I really wanted to add just that contrast. I saw that he had like a different line going up in the middle as well. So he kind of had 3 lines going up and then the forehead wrinkles going across, if that makes sense. So I did add those, and I also added the highlights and shading to those as well. This is where I was attempting to add the highlights and the different types of colors in his eyes, because in the one reference photo I was doing, it was kind of like sunlight was hitting him, and he kind of had like these really lighter brown eyes that had like a lot of color around the pupil, so it was kind of yellowy and stuff. That's what those little dots are that I'm adding around, and then I added white on them to do highlights as well. And then in the reference photo, it kind of seemed like when I was doing this that the light was kind of shining across his eyes as well, so it made like a glare around them. So anyway, like I said, I don't really like how the eyes turned out. That was one of the things that I really wanted to focus on, because I feel like if I couldn't get the eyes right, people weren't going to get who I was. But you know, it is what it is. So this is the final look. It's so funny. Like I said, if the mouth was a lot darker and a lot thicker, it would have really gave the illusion. So thank you guys for watching. I love you. Goodbye.